All right, here we go. Today we have Danesa White, a.k.a. Bella Barcode. As a teen, Bella perfected the approval game scam, which netted $65,000 per week in the 90s. After that, she was a mastermind behind a multi-million-dollar diamond scheme. Bella Barcode, welcome to Vlad TV.
Thank you for having me.
Well, let's start in the beginning. Born and raised in West Oakland.
Born and raised in West Oakland, Acorn Projects.
Okay. And what was that like during that time?
Lots of killings. My grandmother was a queenpin. My mom was a functional addict. My father used to roll with the Black Panthers. So born and raised in Oakland, West Oakland, it was tough, but my family managed to do it. It wasn't white picket fence, but they managed to put food on the table, and to raise me, I was raised around hustlers my whole life.
Well, when you say your mom was a functional addict, what was the drug that she was using?
Crack cocaine.
Okay, because this was during the whole crack era.
Mm-hmm. You know, that's where the crack era came from.
Yeah, exactly.
Oakland.
Do you remember her before she started getting addicted?
No, she was been addicted my whole life.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So that's all you knew?
That's all I knew.
Okay. And look, I have family members whose mothers were hooked on crack and so forth. And I just heard horror stories after horror stories.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like coming home and the furniture is all outside because the mom never paid the rent, even though it was Section 8 and there was barely anything. And stories way worse than that I can't mention. Like during that time, what do you think was the worst thing you went through?
My father passed away.
You were 11 at the time?
I was 11 at the time, and then I didn't know what grief was, you know. I felt abandoned. I felt that my father left me with my addicted mom.
Well, at one point, your father shot your mother.
Mm-hmm.
Because she was cheating on him?
Yep.
Did you actually see it?
I don't remember. I don't remember if I witnessed it or if she told me when I was younger.
Okay.
I can't. But I want to say that she told me, and that's what took me to the place where I am now, where I don't believe in cheating. You know, a lot of people say that was very, that's for you not to cheat because your mom shot your father in your back. It was a traumatic situation that I've experienced in my life. So that's the reason why I don't cheat.
Okay. Now, your grandmother was a queenpin.
Mm-hmm.
So what was she doing exactly?
She was selling prescription drugs, cooking up crack. They called her the icy lady, but behind the icy lady, she was selling drugs, prescription pills, everything.
Huh.
Not just ices and candy, not just the candy lady, the icy lady. She was...
Huh. So you had a gangster granny, basically.
Yeah, I had a gangster granny.
And I guess your grandmother used to tell your cousins, if you got a pussy, don't come back to this house, bro.
Oh, my God, Vlad, really? You did your research.
Did my research.
Absolutely. That's how my grandmother was. And everything, I mean, my grandma, I can't say, I don't know, when I look back at it, I think about, all the layers of trauma that I break it down now that I dealt with as a kid. My grandmother, you know, she used to call us bitch, yell at us when it came. But when I look back at how, what she instilled in us as a young girl, I believe that it has me to the point where I am today, not dependent on a man. But I used to always say I don't need a man. I don't want to depend on a man for nothing, but I need a man. I want a man to depend on, you know? I don't want to have to be strong anymore.
Yeah, I think most people want someone in their corner. They can say that, I don't need my kids don't need a father or whatever else, but who doesn't want a two-parent home on some level?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, now, your mom was addicted, but she was also a booster.
Mm-hmm.
And would she take you along on some of these missions?
Yeah, absolutely. We was in Sears. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
Of course. Yeah, I grew up around Sears.
Yeah, we was in Sears on Broadway, and she was stealing, and eventually we got caught, and we got taken away from her that day.
Oh, so CPS came
CPS got involved.
Huh.
And this wasn't the first time CPS was involved in the situation. and eventually it took us away. And then my grandmother ended up getting us. We was in our foster care for a while, but then my grandmother ended up getting us.
Okay, so how many kids was it?
It was two of us at the time, but then my mom eventually had us, my little brother as well.
Okay, so 3 kids, and all 3 kids, 2 kids were taken away at that time?
2 kids, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, but you're only in foster care for a little while then.
Probably about a year.
Oh, that's not a little while.
I was in abusive foster care too.
Okay, because I've heard foster care is you don't know what you're going to get. I've heard people say, I had a nice family and so forth, and other people are like, I went to 38 different foster, homes, and it was bad.
We went to about 3.
3? Mm-hmm. So what was the worst thing that happened in foster care?
Physical abuse, mental abuse.
Yeah. Sorry I had to go through that.
Thank you.
Okay, so you go back with your grandmother. Did you actually get arrested yourself or no? Just your mother?
Just my mom.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So leading up to like 17 years old, were you getting arrested at all or?
I was in and out of juvie.
For what?
Stealing. Like stealing from Aunt Taylor from the Gap. I run away from my mom's house.
Okay. But then you figured out the approval game.
I actually met a young lady. She go by the name of Smooch. I met her and I started going with her. And eventually, I was just like tired. I was like, I can do this on my own. So I stole the game from her and eventually did it by myself. And I masterminded the diamond game, getting solitary stones.
Okay, so break down how the approval game actually works.
Right down. Let's see. So, we'll get a credit card, any card, like a prepaid credit card. We'll get the guy to print whatever name we want to use on the credit card. And then he'll make the ID. We'll give him, our passport picture. He'll make the face for whatever name we're using for that card. Mind you, it's a prepaid card. Let's clarify that. It's nobody else's physical credit card. And we'll get our little crew, assemble our little crew, go inside the candy store, get a cash advance off the Visa for $8,500. And once the card decline, the teller asks you, would you like to contact your bank? Or sometimes we'll just, say I need to contact my bank for security purposes. That's probably why the card is declining. We contact our bank, which is our co-conspirator on the line. She like, thank you for calling Visa Merchant Services. Sarah, can I get your account number, please? Expiration date, name as it appears exactly on the card. We tell them all that. My name is such and such. I'm here in Bank of America. My credit card is declining for $8,500. And I need to know what's going on with my credit card. For security purposes, could you repeat the last 4 digits of social or your mother's maiden name? They'll, depending on what kind of security questions they'll ask you. The co-conspirator continue to review my account, ask to speak to the teller. The teller get on the phone. Hi, this is Sarah with Visa Merchant Services. Can I please have your Visa merchant number? Teller give the co-conspirator the Visa merchant number. Come back to the phone. I am showing that funds are available in Miss So-and-so account. I have a verbal authorization code. Do you need to have a pen and paper handy so you can write it down? If the teller need help to put the transaction through, the co-conspirator guide her how to put it through, depending on what terminal she have. If she have an FD-150, depending on a Verifone, whichever terminal the teller has, the co-conspirator guide her through that transaction the whole time.
Okay, I guess what I'm asking that seems a little weird to me is, okay, so let's just say, let's pull out one of my credit cards here, right? Pull out a Visa. So on the back of a Visa is phone numbers, real phone numbers. So do you guys print out a card with your own phone numbers on the back of this thing?
He can.
Huh.
He can put the 1-800 number, which is the 1-800 number is transferred to the mobile number of the co-conspirator.
So you guys are making your own credit cards based on actual prepaid cards. So the credit card isn't fake, but the information on it is a little bit fake.
Absolutely.
Aha. And does the actual person at the store or the bank take the card and call the number on the back?
They can't. Sometimes it admits situations where they'll call the number on the back.
But the number's going to you anyway, so it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, as long as it's the 800 number.
Or you're saying in certain situations, you'll call the number. If you're the one going in, you'll say, okay, hold on, let me call my bank.
And I'll hold the credit card up in the air so you know, because the cameras is watching. And I'll be dialing. I know the 1-800 number by heart, and I'll dial a 1-800 number.
Okay. And then the authorization number that you get, that's not a real number.
No, that 6-digit number is not real.
It's just some random 6-digit number. What are they supposed to do with that number?
They enter it in a system.
But if they enter it in the system and the number's not valid, won't the system kick it back?
It's a manual transaction is what it's called, or a forced sale. So banks and companies are not supposed to do forced sale transactions, but they do. Some of them, used to do.
Okay. And look, it's one thing to go to some mom and pop shop where you have some minimum wage retail worker that doesn't really give a shit, is just doing her job and whatever, here you go. But you're going into an actual bank where these are actual trained employees. There's a manager right behind them that they could pull in that is supposed to know what they're doing. There's cameras everywhere, inside and outside. At any point, does anyone say something here doesn't look right?
No.
Really? Even in the banks?
Even in the candy store, no.
Wow. Oh, you call the bank the candy store? Okay, I got it. That took me a second. So you're getting a $6,500 to $8,500 cash advance, even though there's no money on that card.
So in a candy store, they'll say whatever your credit card limit. So of course, we wouldn't go over $10K because of the IRS. We don't want to bring no red flags to us. So we never went in there and got a cash advance for over $10,000. But in a jewelry store, you making purchases however much you want to make a purchase for.
So how many times would you be hitting banks in a typical week with this particular situation?
So I will go in a bank at least 6 times a day.
6 times a day, but different banks?
Different banks.
Okay.
Or credit unions.
And so 6 times a day, let's do the math. Well, if it's around, let's just say 7,000 average, is that a fair number, or 8,000 average? Let's just
That's
say
a fair
8,000.
number, 6,500.
6,500, let's just say 7. $42,000 in a day. All cash in your hand.
All cash in my hand.
Are you doing it, are you doing this yourself, or do you have a little crew of people that are
I had a little crew. I started off doing it myself when I was doing it with Smooch, but then eventually I got my own crew.
Okay, and these people are friends of yours, they're, because you're including people into a crime. So obviously one of them gets caught and snitches and now everything is getting brought down. So how do you trust these people?
You think they're your friends. Until it start crumbling down,
that's what I'm
realize
saying.
Who your friends really are.
Okay, so these were just your personal friends at the time?
Some of them was.
Okay. And then what? They would kick back a certain amount of money to you?
Everything was straight down the middle.
Oh, they were split it?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you were doing 6, visits a day, how many were they doing a day? Same thing?
It depends on how they feel. I wouldn't force nobody if they feel comfortable doing whatever, 2 or 3.
Okay. Well, you finished high school, you got an AA degree, and you actually had a full scholarship to Cal State East Bay, but you ended up not going because you were making too much money doing this. Do you kind of regret that in retrospect?
Absolutely.
Okay. So here you are, 18, 19 years old. And how much are you making per week during this time?
It depends. It can be from $65K to $120K. It depends.
Okay. So $100K a week as a teenager. I mean, you could have a $500,000 month if you really hustle.
If I really
every
hustle.
day. What are you doing with this money?
As quick as it's coming, as quick as it's going.
So what are you buying?
I ended up buying, eventually I ended up investing into, I bought my ex a detail shop. I bought me a laundromat.
Okay. Those are the big purchases. But along the way, are you
jewelry, cars,
clothes,
dumb stuff, clothes, everything. I mean, So the same way we was going into the candy stores is the way we was going into Louis Vuitton, Gucci. We didn't have to pay for nothing.
Oh, so you're using the same cards to buy stuff?
In the designer stores.
Aha. And they're going through the same process.
Same process.
Along the way, does anyone say, any of the stores, anyone's like, nah, we're not going to do this?
It was a situation we were in some, I want to say Detroit. And the lady we was in a Louis Vuitton, the lady was very skeptical about the purchase. She was like, no, you can't use my phone. She was like, you can use your own phone. That was perfect. Okay, I'll use my own cell phone. Still got her. Not boasting or bragging about it, but it have been situations like that where, you know, they get skeptical. Like, no, you can't use our phone. We don't know who you calling.
Okay, so you're making a bunch of money and you start a date and then you get pregnant. How old were you at the time?
I believe I was 19.
19 years old. Still a teenager. When you got pregnant, were you like, yeah, I want to be a mom? Or it's like, yo, my life's a little crazy right now. Were you considering an abortion maybe? Or
I don't believe in abortion.
don't believe it at all. So you're like, I'm pregnant, I'm going to have it. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Okay. And the father, were you guys together?
We was together.
Okay. So he was involved and everything else like that?
Yeah, and
in
then
the
he
raising?
eventually went to jail.
Aha. Over the same thing you're doing or something else?
No, selling drugs.
Oh, it's a D-boy. Okay. All right. So now you're pregnant and you have a baby. Are you thinking at this point, okay, now I'm a mom and it's not just about me anymore. I don't want to be a mom that can't touch, provide or even touch your baby because I'm in jail, because people do get caught doing this type of thing. So what did you think at that point?
I thought about that. Like a lot came across my mind. I was feeling like I'm happy that God allowed me to have a baby to where I can have somebody who loved me like I love them back, because I didn't feel that. I felt that void when I was growing up. So I was excited. And also a lot of thoughts came to my mind, like, you know, I'm knee deep in the game. What I'm going to do, like, something got to give, because if something happened, who will raise my child?
Okay, so at one point, you kind of shifted between this cash advance fraud to jewelry fraud. So how did that happen exactly?
The bank started getting hot.
Meaning?
A lot of talk, because it wasn't just me doing it. It still was Smooch and her crew, and it was the young lady the person who invented it. She had her crew out. It was a lot of us out. And Oakland is so small, so we all knew each other, you know? But we didn't know what states everybody was hitting. But we, eventually it got hot. And eventually somebody that I had went into one of my crew members who had went into the candy store, she got caught. And the number was transferred to my cell phone, and they came and raided my house. And I got probation for it, so.
Okay, so your house got raided. And you weren't charged with anything? I mean,
I got probation.
So what were you charged with?
I don't remember. It was a felony though.
Okay, so you pleaded guilty.
I pleaded guilty. I had a paid attorney. Ended up pleading guilty, no jail time, because they couldn't figure it out. They couldn't understand, like, okay, well, she was inside the candy store, but she called a 1-800 number, but it still traced back to my address. So the Vallejo PD, it was the Vallejo PD, it wasn't the feds.
Okay, at that point, you're like, look, my house got raided, which I'm sure was very traumatic because they tore your house apart, right? You come home, your house looks crazy, you get arrested, charged with a felony, but you get off with probation, you get lucky. Did you think, wow, I dodged a bullet, I made some money? Because I'm sure you had some money at the time, right? And you'd already started the laundromat?
No, I hadn't started the laundromat.
That came later.
Okay. That came later.
Okay, so you haven't really invested the money yet, but I'm sure you have a good amount of cash at the time. Did you say, okay, look, this is enough. I got a kid. Let me go do something else?
No. Just greed. Still greedy.
Still greedy. Okay, so then it shifts into jewelry. And was Jacob the jeweler the first person you hit?
Yeah, that was the first person.
Okay. So describe what happens.
He wasn't there. We walked in. This one, he was downtown. We walked into the Diamond District.
This was in New York.
New York, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my little play sister, and I told her to pick out whatever she wanted. She picked out what she wanted. I picked out what I wanted, and that was it.
How much jewelry was it?
Ooh. So, so when I'm going in, I have to shop for me and the person who behind the phone. And she had her order. So I want to say we purchased 3 watches, a diamond chain with the pendant. We probably walked out of there with spent about $90-something thousand.
Right. If I look at the date, this is around the time the Jacob watches were real hot.
Yes.
This was the red and the blue joints, the white face.
Yeah.
I remember that.
And I didn't want Jacob. I'm not a fad girl, so I like to set my own trends. But I ended up getting an Aviani watch.
Okay, so you walk out with what, $90,000 worth of jewelry. So you just gave them. Now this is different. This is not $8,500. This is $90,000. So how did you pull off $90,000, especially in a place like Jacob, which, they're dealing with BMF and so forth. And, they're suspicious, the money's coming from various places. In fact, Jacob went to prison over doing business with BMF. You know the story behind that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he basically was selling them jewelry and wasn't declaring the sales because they were big, high-ticket items. And ultimately that caught up to him. It was all being done under the table because it was so much money. So, was Jacob the jeweler, whatever the salesperson, were they at all suspicious that these 2 random girls had just spent $90,000?
You have to dress the par so people won't look at you crazy. You coming in there designer down. I mean, you're a pretty girl. Like, that's the least they suspect. Like, you in there doing illegal activity. And you have to know what you coming in for. Eventually, like when I used to go into jewelry stores, a lot of the jewelers used to think I was a gemologist because I'll ask for the magnifying glass. I knew my cut clarity.
Okay, so that one day at Jacob's, was that the biggest score you ever had at that point?
No.
No? Single score? You got more than $90,000 previously?
Oh, no. Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
Jacob was the first one. That was the icing on the cake.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because you were before, it was more like 8,500,
yes,
6,500.
absolutely.
Now it's 90,000. How did you feel walking out of that store?
Like I was the girl. Like you couldn't tell me nothing. Like I was like, I did it. Like I couldn't believe in myself. Like I was impressed with myself. But after that, we went to Aviani.
Aha. Okay. I know Aviani's. At one point in 2004, you went to Boston and you and your crew ended up getting like $120,000 worth of stuff, 40,000 designer bags, 6,000 diamond watches, 75,000 in actual flawless diamonds.
Flawless diamonds.
So that's when you started focusing on the actual like cut diamonds?
Solitary stones.
The solitary stones. Why those?
They pay the most. And I never dealt with like cushion cut. I'm not a cushion cut girl. I like diamonds, real diamonds, solitary stones where you can look and see the inclusions in the diamonds and, you know.
Okay, so those years, so you were talking about from 2001 to around 2004, that's when you were doing the jewelry thing? So you're not keeping all the jewelry yourself. You're selling it, but it's stolen jewelry. So, I mean, don't diamonds have serial numbers on them? Are you worried about that at all? Okay.
I had jewelers purchasing jewelry for me.
So if a stone is worth, let's say, $50,000, but it is stolen, how much are you getting for it?
I charge them like $43.
It's not bad. Why are they paying so much for jewelry they know is stolen?
You still got to understand it's a solitary stone. Like, they got the paperwork to it. All a certs and everything, so.
Okay, so you're making quite a bit. It's a lot, it's not like clothes that fell off the truck where it's selling for 25 cents off the dollar. You're getting like 80, 90% of the actual value. At this point, as you're doing the jewelry thing, like what was the most amount of money you accumulated?
Doing
Like
jewelry?
at one point,
Ooh, probably $500,000
$500,000 in cash.
in cash. I had NFL players. I had drug dealers. I had jewelers.
Okay. You obviously can't put it in the bank.
Mm-mm.
So where are you keeping all of it?
At home.
Crazy.
Crazy.
So you got $500,000 in your house. You're no plans to slow down at all.
Mm-mm.
Then in 2004, you're on your way to go sell some of these diamonds, and you make an illegal U-turn. What happens next?
I got pulled over.
What'd they find?
Everything. I was on my way to go meet a client, and I had all the receipts. This is my first time doing business with him, so I had all the receipts so he can know I do good business. All the receipts, everything in the car, the loose stones in the car and everything. I ended up giving them to my play sister. I didn't think they was gold because I had a 3-way search clause because I remember I was on probation for that case. So I didn't think they was going to search her. They still searched her. So while they was still going through, they was reading all the receipts. They ended up calling Boston while we was right there getting searched.
Okay. At this point, did you feel like this was really, really, really bad? Or, okay, look, I had probation last time. I didn't kill anybody. I'm just going to get probation again.
No, at this time, I felt like it was really, really, really bad. I thought this was it.
Okay. So you get locked up.
Yes, get locked up.
Did they give you bail?
I think they gave us bail, but I was on probation, so I couldn't bail out. I couldn't bail out, but she was able to bail out.
Okay. And this is Kyrie Frazier?
Oh my God, Vlad, you did your homework.
Did my homework. That's your co-defendant.
That was my co-defendant.
Except you end up having no co-defendants at the end.
End up having no co-defense at the
Because
end.
Kyrie Frazier turned informant. How close were you to Kyrie?
That was my play sister.
Play sister. When did you find out that she's actually cooperating?
Well, I had another good friend. Her dad was a FBI agent. So when we got pulled over in Boston and had went to jail, she ended up coming to buy me out, the friend.
Mm-hmm.
My client ended up giving her $25,000 to fly to Boston and buy me out. So I had a piece of paper with all my information on it, and I asked her to ask her father, what was this number? And her father said, that's an FBI number. So that's how I knew the feds was on me then. So I didn't find out until I started reading my discovery paperwork, and it stated CIA 1. I didn't find out until I was incarcerated. CIA 1 and CIA 2.
And who are they?
Who you just mentioned.
Kyrie.
And the other girl. Mm-hmm.
CIA is confidential.
Informant 1.
Informant
mm-hmm.
1.
Confidential informant 2. Mm-hmm.
So who's the other confidential informant?
Another young lady. I just rather not say their name because I don't know how that,
All right.
Won't be suing me, but it won't be.
Okay.
So.
I mean, how did you feel with your play sister and your other friend just turned against you?
My mom used to always tell me, it was my 25th birthday, and I had a surprise birthday party, and I had a cake. We used to call ourselves the Cover Girls. And the cake had a picture of all of us on the cake. Mm-hmm. When I picked the cake up from Neldon's Bakery, I'm sure you heard of Neldon's Bakery in Oakland.
Yep.
When I picked the cake up from Neldon's Bakery, the cake was fine. And then when I got to the Claremont Hotel where my mom worked at, the cake was split in half. I was on one side and they was on the other side of the cake. That was a red flag. It was vivid. Besides my mom constantly telling me, like, those girls are jealous of you. I wouldn't listen. I was thinking that it was just the drugs talking, like, and then people I was dating was saying the same thing, like, them girls jealous of you. Like, you don't see it, Danesa? I was like, no. Always seen the good in people,
Well, you're locked up, awaiting trial, and your house gets robbed.
Mm-hmm.
And like we said before, you kept all your cash in your house. How much cash was in the house?
That time, it was probably like less than $20,000. It wasn't nothing in the house then.
Huh. Okay.
I was Like, when I tell you I was like reckless, I told you the guy he gave her $25,000 to come buy me out. Why I don't have my own money to come buy myself out if I'm making money like this? I was reckless.
So there was no money because you were
No
spending
money.
all the money?
I was spending money. I was taking care of everybody, paying for plastic surgery, paying mortgages, paying car notes. Like, seriously.
Wow.
That's how I am. Like, we all go shine. I'm not the only person that's going to shine. If you're not doing well, I'll make sure I take care of it. And that's how I was.
Right,
with
but didn't some of those, didn't some of those same people that you were taking care of end up robbing your house?
Yeah. Same two people robbed my house, blind.
So you know who did it?
Yeah.
How do you know?
Didn't nobody know where I stayed at, Vlad.
Oh, okay.
I'm very private when it comes to where I lay my head at. Like, anything, with everything. Like, nobody knew where I stayed at.
Okay. And these two were obviously out at the time. Did you ever confront them later on?
Well, the one you mentioned at first, she ended up telling me what happened. She said the other girl made her do it. Can't nobody make you do nothing.
Wait. Your co-defendants end up robbing your house?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I thought it was just some other girls.
No.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's insane. So not only they snitch on you, but they robbed your house. And they got no charges?
No charges. Not only that, in Boston, you get your money back after the case is not processed. And since the feds picked the case up, the girl who bonded me out, she got the $20,000 back when it picked it up.
Wow.
Didn't put no money on my books. Didn't reach out to my kids. No, nothing.
You had how many kids at this point?
I had two at this point.
Two kids, okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, and how old are they as you're sitting in jail at that time?
I don't remember. They was young. Like, I want to say
like
1 and 3.
2004, 2005.
Yeah, they was young. I want to say 1 and 3. They was young when I first went.
You had babies.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, I have kids.
Yeah.
Being in jail while a 1 and 3-year-old, I'd be going crazy. Because you can't even see your kids. I mean, is your mom like bringing the kids to you, or? My
mom was bringing them to me, and then their godmom was bringing them to me, and eventually that stopped. Because my mom was bringing me contraband. I ended up getting transferred to Waseca, Minnesota.
Okay, so how long were you locked up before the actual? Well, because you pleaded out, right? Mm-hmm. Where'd you go? Yeah, so you didn't go to trial.
But I had caught another case after Boston.
Wait, so you get caught in Boston, and they let you out?
They bonded you out? She bonded me out. Mm-hmm.
And then what happens next?
And then I was like, I got to do something. Like, my back was against the wall. They had took everything, and I ended up going to Virginia to another play. And that's when I got caught red-handed in the act, in a jewelry store.
So you were in a jewelry store trying to purchase how much jewelry?
Two Rolex or Oyster Perpetual day dates, $120,000.
Yeah, about $60,000 each. Yeah, brand new. That's about right. And then what happened? They called the police as you're trying to do it?
So no, the transaction went through. And to me, like, to this, like, I went, because I ended up going to that halfway house in Virginia. So I ended up going to that Reed's jewelry store. The same lady was working there. I said, "You remember me?" She couldn't remember me, so I refreshed her memory. She said the person who did the AP called back into the store and told them I was doing illegal activity.
Oh.
Yeah. And to this day, like, the person think I don't know, but it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. I had somebody new doing my AP. And the lady was stalling. Everything went through. And she was like, so the phone rang. And I'm like, that's odd. Like, the phone rang right after she done. So she was like, she didn't give my ID back. I said, "Ma'am, you haven't gave my ID back." She's like, "Yes, I did." So she was basically stalling time till the police came. Chesapeake police came in with a 5x7 picture of me.
Okay, so you're sitting here on bail for one scam, and now you get caught for a second scam. So at that point, you're like, okay, this is all over. That's it.
I'm like, it's over.
Okay, so you get locked up again.
And this time in another Commonwealth state. Virginia's Commonwealth, just like Boston, Massachusetts.
Okay. And no bond this time?
No bond.
Okay.
Because I was already on bond.
Exactly. You just violated your bond. So how long are you in jail this time until you actually accept the plea deal?
I was fighting my case for about 8 months.
Okay, you got a lawyer and everything?
No, you don't get a lawyer in the feds. Like, that's a waste of money.
Well, I mean, that's Diddy.
He different. his money different.
His money's different. This is true.
Yeah.
No, but you're right, though. Most time, a 98% conviction rate, you're just kind of just trying to get the best deal you can. So you have a public defender?
Not a public defender.
Do you think in retrospect, let's just say you had $100,000 put aside, if you got a real lawyer, it would have changed something or no?
No, because the feds, they go by what? They go by your background. Like, you on a rule, like rule 80, what is it, 80 something, 88 to something months, like you on a bracket, like, because your background is this, so I'm gonna give you go be at this from 80 to 64 months, like that, you know? So, no, absolutely not. No.
Okay.
I would never take nothing to trial. I don't know, everybody different. I just wouldn't.
Okay, so
if I know I'm guilty.
Yeah. So ultimately, you accept 84 months, which is about 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
Worst case, if you had gone to trial, how much time would you have gotten?
I probably would have got 120 months, probably.
Okay, 10 years.
Yeah. I'm in a Commonwealth. I'm in Virginia. Like, that's Commonwealth.
So what does that mean, Commonwealth? Like, in terms of what you're going through?
I don't want to say I'm saying what I've heard. Like, they make their own laws. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, Commonwealth is different. They can do whatever they want, basically.
Okay, so up to this point, you had never done actual prison time. You were just in jail here and there. So you accept your plea deal. How did it feel to accept 7 years? Because you're, 25 at the time?
I didn't know what... He said 84 months, so I get back to the where they hold us at the bullpen, whatever they call it. And the guy was like, how much time you got mine? I was like, 84 months. He was like, damn, who you killed? And I'm saying to myself, like, I started doing the math. I said, dang, the judge was so mad. I will never forget his name. His name was Richard Dumar. He told me I should have been in Hollywood. I should have been an actor. He said he never known anybody to get away with $120,000 Rolex at my age. He was pissed. He passed away now. I wish he can see me now. But yeah, he passed away now. But
okay.
Yeah.
Well, you just accepted at that point 7 years, which means at 25 years old, the rest of your 20s are gone.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting out in your 30s.
I was 33, I believe, when I came.
Exactly. So now you go to real, Fed prison, right? What was that first night like?
I was scared. I was nervous. I didn't know what to expect. I felt like I just wasted my whole life. I was thinking about my kids, but it was too late. Like, you should have thought about your kids when you was out there committing crimes, you know? I was selfish, like, you know.
What were the charges that you pled guilty to?
Conspiracy and access devices.
Okay.
But I didn't understand I don't understand how the feds do conspiracy when there's no co-conspirators, but I went to jail by myself. Like,
okay.
But that's how they...
And your co-conspirators were out living their best life.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever talk to them afterwards and run into them?
When I came home, I spoke with the one you mentioned.
Yeah.
I was in contact with her for a while, and then I just...
How'd that conversation go?
Yeah. It went good at first, and then I just was like, well, I'm keeping in contact with her. Like,
okay.
You know?
Well, now you're in a woman's prison. But you still kind of hustling in there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're selling like lip gloss and pills and contraband. But this is, the whole thing with your mother. Okay, now I get it. So your mother is basically helping you smuggle stuff into the prison.
Mm-hmm.
How is she actually doing that?
We get contact visits like this.
Okay. And she just slips it to you when no one's looking? And they're not watching this on cameras and so forth?
I don't think it was cameras in the visiting room.
Okay.
I don't know. It probably was. I don't remember. It's been so long, but...
Well, at one point, you guys get caught, though.
Who got caught?
For the contraband.
They asked my mom. She didn't get caught. They asked her. And she was like, I'm not bringing my daughter anything. But that's because somebody dropped a dime on me in prison.
Okay, so you got caught?
No. Somebody was on the compound talking. Like, they used to call me California. Like, California bringing Mac lip gloss in here and jewelry and pills. And you know how that go.
Well, right. Well, because of that whole situation, you lost visitation with your kids.
No, I got transferred out.
You got transferred out, and then you lost visitation with the kids?
Yeah, because I was way in Waseca, Minnesota.
Oh.
Yeah, they transferred me. Because at first I was at home in Dublin, California.
Right, that's close. Yeah. Oh, so now you're in the middle of the country, and
Yeah, I'm in the
who's
middle.
going to bring the kids all the way out there? Did that hurt the most, you think?
Yes, it did. I did. My last 5 years was hard time. Yeah.
Now, I talk to a lot of people that are in men's prisons, and you hear, well, depending on what prison you're in, it could be very, very violent. It could be gladiator school, or it could be, basically like a camp where it's just nice and easy. The kind of prisons that you were in. So you were in 2 prisons in Dublin and then
Dublin and Waseca, Minnesota.
In Minnesota. Was one worse than the other?
No. Waseca was worse because they used to make us shovel snow. It was terrible. Like, we had this officer, I forgot his name, man. He was crazy. He used to do shakedowns all the time. He was terrible. This one officer, he was a short guy. I forgot his name, but he was terrible. Waseca was horrible. It was freezing out there. It was cold. It was just, you in the middle of nowhere. It was terrible. We had scheduled, when we go out the unit, they'll schedule us to, it was different. It wasn't freely like Dublin was. Dublin was more freely, openly. Waseca wasn't.
Well,
because Waseca used to be a men's prison too.
Oh,
and then they switched over to women's.
Women's prison. Okay. Now, prison gets violent. Now, are women's prisons like less violent than men's in general, or?
Yeah, it's less violent.
But there is some violence.
Yeah.
Did you encounter any? Really? So all the girls just left you alone?
I got into a couple of fights, but it wasn't nothing like that.
Nothing serious?
No.
So no stabbings, nothing else like that? That happens regularly in men's prisons, let me tell you. That's a regular thing over there.
Right.
So, was there, because you also have, there's no men, so you have a lot of like gay relationships and stuff like that. You're a pretty girl coming in, you're 20-something years old. Were some women trying to get at you and stuff like that?
Of course they was.
Okay, but that's not your thing?
No, that's not my thing.
But, but you do have rape in women's prisons as well. Do. Was that happening in the prison at all?
No.
Okay, so it was just more of a calm kind of situation.
It was a lot of everybody was trying to get home though. Like, it wasn't, it was cool, calm and collect.
So then 2012, you're 32 years old, you get released. Now, are you released completely or are you still on probation at that point?
No, I was on probation and in a halfway house.
Okay, so you get out in a halfway house. How did it feel to walk out of those walls?
It felt good. After doing 7 years, it felt amazing.
Right. Got to see your kids again. Now your kids are older though.
Yeah.
So you missed that whole part. I know that hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you come out and you actually start getting back into scamming again?
Yeah, I did.
Why?
For about not for about, it wasn't like it used to be. Went to a couple places and it wasn't like it used to be. It was different.
Well, when you were still scamming before you went to prison, you would invest in stocks. And the stocks appreciated like $90,000, but the feds ended up taking that money?
That's only because I transferred them to my name. They were still in my kid's name. I should have left them in my kid's name.
Okay.
And since I owe restitution, the feds took them.
How much restitution did you owe?
I owe $1.2 million.
$1.2 million restitution.
I've been paying it down. I pay like $10 a month.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're about 1,000 years old. It'll be all paid off, so they'll get their money back.
Yeah.
Okay.
I pay. Long as you pay them something, they'll stay off your back.
$10 a month.
Yeah.
But then when that $90,000 went to your name, they're like, "Thank you. We'll take that."
And they was taking money off my books too, though. It was more than that.
Okay.
Yeah, so whenever somebody send me money, they take a percentage off my books. So that's another reason why I had my mom bringing me contraband.
Okay, so you started scamming again. Did you get caught at that point? Okay. And
I got out the game. I just left it alone.
You just did a little something and then...
I did a little something. I was like, yeah, this ain't how it is. and left it alone.
It was different at that point?
It was, you can't use my phone. We don't know who you talking to. It was bad. It's not how it used to be.
Well, you said at that point you realized that your actions were really motivated by greed, not actual genuine concern for your kids. Because the things that you're doing is going to separate you from your kids.
Absolutely.
So if you really love your kids, you wouldn't be doing that. And was that sort of like the light bulb that went off?
Absolutely. That was it.
That was it.
That was the nail in the coffin.
What was like the final thing that you did before you just said, I'm done?
When I got out this, when I
like the
finally
final,
came
what
home,
was your final? Because, a lot of times people do, okay, I'll do one more score. And that's the one they end up going to,
When I realized that it wasn't how it was when I went in the first, when I was hustling the first time.
Yeah.
I was like, it's not worth it. I have to do something. So that's when I turned to personal training.
Okay, which lots of people coming out of prison do. That's like the standard.
I worked out my whole 7 years though, so.
Oh, so you're all ripped and everything?
I'm a workout fanatic. I worked out, yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
So you became a personal trainer, but that doesn't really bring a lot of money initially. So you start doing other stuff. Start doing
body contouring.
What is that exactly?
Body contouring is like after people go get surgery, they have to keep, after you go get plastic surgery, you have to keep up your body, but a lot of people don't. They be want instant gratification, but it's like a non-invasive procedures.
Oh, like on the outside, they kind of like push things
wood
around.
Therapy, cavitation machines, and things like that.
Okay, and then you're a esthetician, so you're doing makeup and so forth.
No makeup.
Not makeup.
I got my esthetician license just to do it. Just to do it,
okay.
And because for body contouring, you have to have an esthetician license in Las Vegas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
or
you can't do
illegal.
it. Yeah, or else it's illegal.
Okay. And then you started doing real estate and stocks. So what were you doing in that regard?
So not so much of stocks. I have I have Roth IRA accounts and high yield savings accounts.
Okay.
And of course I don't give thanks to myself. I give thanks to my CPA, which is / she adopted me as her daughter, her bonus daughter. Her name is Barbara, so she introduced me to that. That's how
I've
I
always
got into
invested
that.
I've invested in stocks for like 15 years.
I want to get into it, but
one of the best things I've ever done in life.
What you do, SP 500s?
Oh. All my money right now. So when I first started investing, I put most of my money in Google.
Okay.
Then I put a bunch of money in Amazon. Then I put a bunch of money in Tesla. And along the way, I owned Facebook at one point, but I've always been like, I learned like from Warren Buffett. I started reading his books, then the books that he learned from. And I learned at that point to just not chase after whatever the hot stock is.
Yeah.
Just buy what I actually know and use.
Okay.
So my company, is YouTube based. So I use Google every single day. Like all my Gmail and everything else like that. It's all Google based. So I use it every day. Every day I shop on Amazon essentially. Right. Everything I buy, it's Amazon. There really is no number two. Walmart is way behind. Who do you know that says, I'm going to order from Walmart these days? Right. Nobody. Right. Everyone orders from Amazon. It's the quickest service. So they have what you call a financial moat, meaning that even if they raise their prices a little bit, there's no real competition in that space. Wow. I've been driving Teslas for 9 years. That's all I drive now. I buy Tesla after Tesla, so I know the car. I know it's a good company. So if the stock goes down, I'll buy more because I have confidence in what I'm buying. Right. I'm not just saying, like NVIDIA, everyone's like, buy NVIDIA. I don't know anything about hardware. I don't know anything about chips. So if the stock goes down, I don't know because I'm not using it. So I just, buy and hold. And over time, it's by far, the best thing I've ever done was, business-wise was launch Vlad TV. But taking the money from Vlad TV and putting in stocks was the second best thing I ever did.
I'll say the best thing I've done was invest into my IUL.
What is that?
That's an insurance policy.
Okay. So describe what that is.
So IUL is an insurance policy that it grows. It grows insurance over years. Okay. Depending on what you invest, what you put into it. And then you can pull out if you want to. It's a penalty if you want to pull out early, but yeah.
Kind of like a 401k in a way, but separate, yeah.
Do your homework. It's a really good policy that you should invest in.
Yeah, I mean, I have a pretty big 401k, and all that's in S&P 500.
Okay.
And just it reinvests over time, just so I don't have to look at it individually. But yeah.
Because I'm with Fidelity, and Fidelity always send me stuff about SP 500, so I've been trying to get into it.
Yeah, I tell people who are just getting into it to get the S&P 500 and then go from there. You know, I mean, because if you look at historically, if you buy S&P 500 and keep it for like a year or two at the very most, there's never been a time where you've lost money by doing that. In history, 150 years. You see what I'm saying? Now that people want to jump in and out and want to do stock options and margin calls and everything else like that, that's when you get into problems. But if you simply, and that's the thing, a lot of people like to say, well, investing stock is just like gambling. There's no difference. No, there is a difference. You're buying a piece of a company. Gambling, you're not buying a piece of anything. You either win or lose, and then it's over. And there's, you know, the house is set up to win at a small percentage, but still they're always set up to win. With the stock market, you're historically designed to win. Right. If you just have the patience to keep it there. So yeah, I own Google stock from 2010 that I never sold. Wow. You know? So think about how many times it's doubled since then. So I just like to put that out there just because I think it's important for people to understand. You know, because most people that I talk to really have no idea. They don't. Yeah. They don't have an idea about it's crazy. Yeah. And everybody's most people, different. Yeah. And most people I talk to, I'm talking about even celebrities who everyone knows, they just don't want to wait. They want to quickly flip that money. They need something where in 6 months it'll flip, and they usually end up losing it all. Right. Because whenever I try to flip my money, it never works. I've always lost it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I ain't taking risks no more. Every time. I ain't doing it. You said something interesting. You said that 70% of rappers wear fake jewelry. How do you know that? It's true. Yeah? You dated someone? No. You say you dated like NFL players and stuff like that? No, I said I had NFL player clients. Oh, clients? Yes. Oh, okay. Got it. No, Got it. I stay in my lane. Okay. You know, I'm a real humble, motivated, got her own type woman. So. Okay. It's hard. It's hard to date me because, baby, I ain't settling. I didn't settle too much in my life to now I'm not settling. If you ain't giving me what I want and what I need, I mean the communication, loyalty, it's what's in your heart, like I ain't going for it. It's different when a woman have her own. Like you gotta come correct. Well, you said you don't date square guys. I've never dated a square guy. Really? Mm-hmm. So a guy with a 9-to-5, his own legitimate business, you're not interested in that? I would, but I've never dated one. But you've never done it? It's always been D-boys and... Yeah, it's been guys who've been in the game. Okay. Yeah. But you also see what the flip side of that is, because your kid's father, did you have both kids with the same father? Yes. Okay. Mm-hmm. And he went to jail for drug dealing. For how long? He was in and out. He's still in there. He in there right now. So... you don't want a square guy, but the guy... No, like I'm not saying I don't want a square guy. I would date a square guy. However, I am not accepting... I'm not accepting... Like I've always been a breadwinner in my relationship. I'm not accepting that no more. They can call it what they want. The internet can call it what they want. But I'm not accepting... A man got to come with it, because I got it. So if you ain't coming with it, then you can X me out the picture. If he ain't, you know, I said on one interview, I forgot what I said. I said something in the lines of, he don't have to have no money or something, baby. I wasn't saying it like I was basically saying that it's not what you have in your wallet. Like, it's not what you have in your bank account. It's what you have in your heart. Like, not saying I don't want a man with money. Because I have my own, so I definitely want a man with money, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But yeah, you know how the internet, they twist things around, but I've never been, to each is his own. I don't see nothing wrong with women being gold diggers. If that's what you like, that's what you prefer. But listen. I remember I was talking to a friend of mine, right? This is the funniest thing I heard recently. Uh-huh. She was like, yeah. She's like, some of my girlfriends call me a gold digger. I call them trash diggers. I'd rather be digging for gold than for trash, because a lot of these girls have their boyfriends are trash. Yeah, but who?
And I'm not, like I said, to each his own. Who want to continue to live their life trying to chase after somebody who will take care of them?
Well, sometimes you don't chase after it. Sometimes you just end up with that person.
Yeah. I mean, if it comes, it comes. But nowadays, our society, this generation is just, I don't know, it's different. We all different.
When you said you've always been the breadwinner, so you're saying that when you're in relationships with men, you'd be paying most of the time?
Yes. I took care of all my men.
Is this like an Oakland kind of pimp mentality? Is that what it is? Because, listen, I grew up around there, so I've seen this day and night.
You know, that's where pimping and hoeing come from.
That's what I'm saying.
But I wasn't no hoe, but I was
I'm not
taking
saying
care.
that, but if you're paying for everything, he's kind of pimping in a way,
Yeah,
right?
that's
I'm not
true.
saying you hoeing, but he kind of
Yeah.
pimping, so, you know.
I like to splurge on my man. That's how
But do they like to splurge on you, though?
my last man loved to splurge on me.
Yeah?
He was a good man. He's a good man. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He took care of Bella. Mm-hmm.
That's what's up.
Yep.
Now, you're a Muslim.
I am now. Yes.
Okay, when did you convert?
4 years ago.
Okay, so this was after prison.
Yes.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, but you don't present yourself as a Muslim woman. You know, the hijab and everything else like that.
I wear my hijab.
Oh, you
I
do?
just feel like when I'm doing interviews, like these kind of interviews, I don't feel comfortable when I'm talking about like this type of stuff.
Okay, but you're saying in your private life, you wear a hijab, you pray 5 times a day and everything else like that? Okay,
Yeah.
that's what's up.
I just don't want to, I want to be very transparent. Like, you know what? Islam is a beautiful religion.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to portray like I'm this, because I'm not perfect. All I don't see us as perfect. We all have our flaws. I just don't want to portray like I'm this wholesome Muslim woman and then, you know, I don't, you know, display. I display myself like Allah wants me to display myself. He wants me to be me, and that's what I am, being me. Very transparent and very authentic.
Well, at this point, you've been out of prison. You're off probation completely. You have legitimate businesses going.
Yes.
What's really preventing you from going back to where you were if you hit, you know, a road bump? Because we always hit hard times. That's just life. Things happen. Emergencies happen. You take losses. People need help. The stock market crashes. The economy goes down. You know, you see this kind of things happening. Like, where are you in life right now to say, okay, I don't want to go back to prison. I'm older now. My kids are older. I don't want to go through the same cycle because, you know, when you got out and you kind of dabbled in it, you could have gone right back. And were you on probation at the time?
No.
Okay, but still, with your previous record, they would have sent you back potentially for 10 years, 15 years. What's really kind of preventing you from really going back to that world and really living
My children.
Yeah.
No question.
Yeah.
My kids is my everything.
Because look, it's a lot harder to be legit. You got to pay taxes. You got to compete with people, you know, compete with other businesses. And ultimately, it's not the same thing as going in and getting $6,500. You know, like I look at, for example, people like Lil Meech, and it's like I feel like they're trying to emulate their dad, but you can't compete with your dad. Your dad was selling drugs, you know, and he had a multi-state, multi-million-dollar operation. No one was paying, you know, it's an addictive substance that's illegal. There's no taxes. There's no anything. You're an actor, but yet you're trying to do things that are.
And also, I feel like you don't put yourself in certain situations.
Yeah.
That put you in that mind frame where you have to, because, you know, this world is different. It can make you think that everything on social media is what it is, something else, but it's really not. People really having hard times. They just make it look easy, you know?
So let's just say after this interview, a 21-year-old girl comes up to you and said, you know, Bella, I'm going to be the new Bella Barcode, and I'm not going to get caught. I'm going to be slicker than you.
Oh, it's like that. My
You know.
DMs is crazy.
People DM you
what?
about that?
Every single day.
Seriously.
Seriously. I can show So you,
Do they
yes,
realize these DMs are tracked and so forth, and you could get like a
they
court
do
order
not
to...
care.
Like, I know people in prison right now over DMs. Literally.
Really?
Casanova 2 times. He was engaged in some illegal drug activity, and part of the evidence was DMs from his IG. He's sitting in prison right now, as we speak. You could subpoena any of these social media companies.
Yeah, they don't understand it.
They will, yeah. A DM is insane. It's
I get them all the
insane.
time.
So every day, girls and guys are DMing you saying...
Asking me for the game. I block them soon as, because they come to my requests, so I can see them, but it won't say view.
I say, yeah, you just delete, and then boom, it's gone.
It's terrible.
That's terrible.
Like, you don't understand. I did 7 years in federal prison.
Yeah, but this, look, everyone likes money.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone, me included. I have lots of designer clothes, and I got a big watch collection, and blah, blah, blah. I drive nice cars. I get it, right? But, you and I are a little bit older. There's no Instagram. There's no social media. You can, show off in front of your friends or go to the club or whatever. But now it's like there's pictures, it's likes, it's comments, like.
For what, though?
Girls and guys will go, like, take pictures in private planes, and the planes are sitting on the runway. Mm-hmm. Like, these planes actually, like, have services.
They take content to a different level.
That's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Like, a private plane company will take planes that are sitting on the runway and charge people whatever $200 an hour to do a photo shoot to make it look like they're flying private. They're getting off and getting back in their Honda Civic and going back to their studio apartment. So the flashiness and also it's like the need. Like, look, I didn't really start getting real money until like my early 40s. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I got some in my 20s, but then I lost it all. So it's like there's this need to be in your 20s and have designer and have these cars and to be flying private, which is really unrealistic. Mm-hmm. In your 20s, you're still working, establishing your career, building up your money, maybe making some investments that are going to, 10, 20 years from now, are going to pay off. And people think like, yo, I don't want to wait until I'm 30. I don't want to wait until I'm 40. But most millionaires are in their 50s.
Absolutely. So
I just feel like this generation, the showing off is on a completely different level. It's on a
completely different level. Because that's because they idolize G-O-D instead of capitalize G-O-D. It's a difference. When you're spiritually not connected to God, that's what happened. It's the truth.
Yeah.
It's no other way around it. It's the things that's going on into this world. If you're not spiritually connected to God or whoever your higher power is, that's what your life is going to end up. Thinking you have to have the next, you have to post this, it's sickening. It's like, why? What is you gaining out of posting something on Instagram showing your house and showing your next bag and showing what your man, I don't know. That's just not me. And to each is his own. I've always been like that. Like, I don't know. I'm just not like that. I like nice things too. But you're not going to see me. You will never, ever, ever know my next move. Ever. You going to be wondering. And that's what I allow Instagram to do, to wonder. What's Bella next move?
Well, Bella Barcode, very interesting story. You did your time, and I honestly feel like you learned your lesson. I do not feel like you're 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I feel like you're both feet out. You're being a mom. You're trying to figure out your next move, and it sounds like you have some moves already in process.
I do.
And
I have my book.
Let's take a look at it.
It's called Recidivism, Beauty Before Bars.
Okay.
And
it's on Amazon?
It's on Amazon, and it's also it'll be in Barnes & Nobles next month.
Okay.
And yeah, y'all just I'm not going to even say what's next. Y'all just going to have to wait and see.
Do you have an audiobook version?
I have an audiobook on Amazon.
Yeah, Audible. Yeah.
Yeah, Audible on Amazon. But
perfect. Yeah, that's how I do all my books.
Yeah. So they just going to have to wait and see what's next.
Listen, Bella, congrats on turning your life around, because I'm sure a lot of your friends that you grew up with are still just trying to figure it out, going through it. You know, you've done your time,
Mm-hmm.
and ultimately you deserve a second chance.
Thank
Looks
you.
like you're actually doing it, and you know, you're being a mom and thinking about the future. And that's the thing also, I feel like people don't make long-term plans.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like if you think about it, you look at most people, they go to high school for 12 years
Mm-hmm.
to graduate. And then if they go to college, that's another 4 years. So you're used to planning out things for multiple years, but then they become adults and they want to get in 6 months. But they've just gone through a system where it took multiple years
Exactly.
to accomplish something, but then they want to get somewhere in 6 months, 3 months. They don't want to wait. They want to get it right away, but it doesn't work that way.
It doesn't.
Everything worthwhile, all these people you look up to have spent years building this up. Like Vlad TV launched in 2008.
Wow.
This is 17 years of working every day,
Working every day.
365 days a year, holidays, birthdays, Christmas, Hanukkah, you know, Kwanzaa, whatever.
Right.
I'm working and doing something
Yes.
every single day, and that's what ultimately builds on it. And it sounds like you got that same type of work ethic. I wish you all the best.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Until next time.
Okay.
Peace.